If you would like to hear Night Dreams Talk Radio on your local radio station, let them know. Tell them to check out www.nightdreamstalkradio.com. And thank you.
Night Dreams Talk Radio, After Dark, wants to give a big shout out to all the truckers that listen to our show.
And don't forget, here at the top of the hour, about 2 minutes after it, we're going to open up the phone line. And if you got a scary story for Halloween, you can certainly give us a call and join in with us at 1-253-203-6681. That is 1-253-203-6681. Guys, are you still there?
Oh, yeah.
Sam? Sam, are you still around?
Sorry about that, guys. I muted my mic.
Yeah, I wondered what happened to you.
Yep.
What I liked about when I was a kid, Halloween, I did some bad stuff when I was a boy. It's past the statute of limitations, so I can actually say it. I think one of the worst things I ever did, I went out with a group of people. We didn't care about trick-or-treating. We wanted to blow up mailboxes. So we had, the big firecrackers, the M1 or whatever they were, and we'd put them in mailboxes and watch them explode. It was fun till we got caught.
Yeah, I bet.
And then it was more fun when I got caught, and then they called my dad, and he had to come down to the local police department, the precinct, and get me out. And it was so much more exciting when I got home because them days, they believed in capital punishment or, punishment. And I remember my dad had his old army belt. And boy, I can tell you what, it was really hard to go to school the next day.
Oh, that is hilarious. Back when I was 12 years old, Halloween was different back in the 70s. And we lived out in the country. There was maybe a couple houses half a mile down the road. But anyway, the neighbor boy says, hey, let's, that candy corn, the worst candy in the world, it's not good for nothing but throwing. So there was this junk car by the road. He goes, let's hide behind this car. Somebody drives by, we'll throw this candy corn at him. I said, sure, that sounds like a great idea,
Uh-huh.
So we did it to a few of them. Well, this one, should know better because people out where I live in the country, they all got guns,
Yeah, they do.
So we threw a big old handful, hit it, and the car locks up the brakes, and this guy gets out, and he goes, I know you're behind that car. So we didn't say it. We're 12, we're scared. We can't even move or talk or nothing. So he pulls out a shotgun and starts shooting the car. We're on the other side of it. We was about to die. So after he took the second shot, I took a chance. I said, look, maybe he's got a double barrel, got to reload. Let's make our move. We took off running. But, oh, boy, you talk about scared. That we didn't throw candy corn no more after that.
Oh, I wonder why. How old were you?
12.
Oh, wow. And he fired a shot at you guys?
Two of them. We was behind the junk car, and it was sitting by the road. He hit the car, I don't know if he's trying to shoot us or scare us, but either way it worked because it ended our throwing candy corn at people.
Well, when you threw the candy corn, he probably thought you were throwing rocks at his car.
He probably did, yeah, because that candy is rotten and it's hard and it's just terrible.
That is my favorite candy.
I wish I knew that I'd ship it to you by the gross.
Yeah, well, that and black jelly beans, licorice jelly beans, are like my two favorite candies.
Ugh, yuck. And then the other 2 years later, I didn't learn my lesson.
Yeah, I still don't think you have. And how old are you now? Go ahead.
I'll be 50-something. But anyway, 2 years later, I was 14. So my friend says, hey, I got these smoke bombs. Let's go to the neighbor girl. She was, my age, and their family, and light these smoke bombs outside their house in front of this big sliding glass doors they got. And I probably told this before we get there, and they're all sitting in there as a family watching TV. So I light these smoke bombs, and it smoked like crazy. And we're walking away, and I look back, and there is a roaring fire just going. All them leaves caught fire, and there was 4 foot high by 5 foot wide fire right in front of that glass door. And they'd never see, you'd think the peripheral vision, they'd see all these flames. They didn't see it. So now I'm like between a rock and a hard place. Do I run? Do I go put this fire out? My God, I could burn the house down, kill these people. I was anxiety ridden. So then I went there, I had to take off my coat and put this fire out, ruin all my clothes. They never once seen or caught on or nothing. But yeah, that was the end of my Halloween pranks. I tried it twice and they both were fails, so to speak.
No, I never did anything that bad. It was on Halloween, and I was probably about 16 years old. And I don't know, one of my friends got some of these skyrockets, bottle rockets. And we figured, hey, why not? It's Halloween. So we set them off, and all of them went perfect except for one. One went up, then it went underneath a car. It was parked, and then it went into our neighbor's bedroom window and shattered the window.
Wow.
And then it set the curtain on fire while they were in the front room. And so me and my friends naturally took off running because they didn't want to, go to the juvie. And I remember having to run up to the door, knocking. They didn't want to answer the door because they probably didn't want to give out any more trick-or-treats, or they were out, right? The candy. And I banged on the door. They finally opened the door, and they said, "What do you want, Gary?" I said, your drapes in your bedroom are on fire. And they go, "What?" I said, "Yeah, you better call the fire department or do whatever, Oh, did I? Again, I got to see that military belt that night.
Oh, wow. You didn't learn your lesson either, did you?
Well, yeah, because my dad made me pay whatever I could pay over like a year's time. What it's like. And they wanted their window replaced like the next day, which was I think it was like a Saturday or Sunday, and glass shops charge more money on the weekends than they do the weekdays to come out and do emergency window repair. It was expensive, even back in those days.
That's where they get you in the pocket. That's where it hurts the most.
Yeah. And then my parents had to buy new curtains. I learned my lesson after that.
Yeah, I learned my lesson after, 2 fails. I was like, every time somebody... Well, I had one other bad Halloween experience. This one, I was a grown adult. Matter of fact, this was in the late 90s. My wife was still alive. She'd come home from work. She said, "We're going to a Halloween party tonight." I'm like, "What?" I've got nothing to wear. We got to dress, right? And she says, "Well, you wear that military outfit you got over there that's a collectible." And I bought this off an old military guy. It was a complete outfit from cap to head to toe. So I said, "You sure?" She says, "Yeah." So I put it on. Now, she says, "Who are you going as?" I said, "Well, with this outfit, I guess I'm going to be Heimlich Heydrich, because it was a German SS Nazi outfit."
Oh, yeah, that's a good one to wear.
From head to toe. It was real, cap and all, the SS cap, the whole, with the dagger and everything. So we get there, and everybody was so offended, they kicked me. They kicked me out of the Halloween party. That was another fail. I didn't plan on wearing it. She made me wear it, and the next thing I know, we're kicked out. And then she was mad at me. She goes, "Why'd you wear it?" I said, "Well, you told me to wear it. I didn't want to wear it." But that was another fail. Bad costume.
Yeah, bad one. And I bet you don't even have the uniform anymore. You know how much that uniform would be worth? I used to collect that type of stuff. Japanese, Italian, German, SS officers, cap. Nowadays, it's worth anywhere from $500 to $750 or more.
Oh, it was worth even back then. I sold it back then. I had to pay medical bills. I think the cap alone, I got a couple $1,000 for, and medals. And the only thing I got from it is I kept the dagger. That was the only thing.
Well, smart move.
But it wasn't smart to wear at a Halloween party. And I was going to say maybe it was a Jewish community that you wore the wrong type of uniform in too. I don't know, but they did not like it, and I got escorted to the door. I'm like, what did I do wrong? Oh, it was stupid.
Well, you live and you learn, right,
yeah,
Sam? You think he's learned anything yet, Sam?
I don't know, but the two of you sound like you live pretty dangerously as young people. And
what, you're going to tell me you toted a Bible under your arm when you went everywhere, right?
Well, actually, I did.
Oh, no, I shouldn't have said
Oh,
that.
no. I'm sorry. He told me not to say sorry, but I'm saying I'm sorry. But I did have a little mean streak in me as far as being a practical joker. And I know it scares people, too. So imagine this. I stayed with a couple when I first moved to Washington, when I first got there. So I just, some friends from back in Kentucky that just happened to be there. So I was there for a little while, and I'd go work at night. Well, the one gal, her name is Shirley. And now picture this. You're washing dishes in the back, in the kitchen, and there's a window, of course, and it's dark out there. It's just pitch black out there. So I go sneak around the back of the house. And while she's doing dishes, I could see the light on. I pop my head up real quick and then pop it back down. Just quick enough for her to actually catch sight of someone staring at her through the window. The next thing you know, I start hearing just this low rumble until it turns into a blood-curdling scream. And I had to run into the house. Oh, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to do that. And she was just beside herself for a long time. And from that day forward, I said, that's it on practical jokes. I'm not pulling those anymore because I could get really bad at it.
You made me feel guilty what I did 2 nights this week.
I'm such a hypocrite.
It's coming out, the real you. I mean,
I'm sorry.
By the way, nothing happened this morning with the other mannequin I put by the bed. Actually, I heard a lot of language I can't even repeat, but she did not scream this time. I think she was prepared for it. I think she probably was listening to the show on a replay of the show on the way to work.
It lost its effect.
Yeah, one of the two.
Oh, Gary, you're never going to learn. You're pushing 70, and you're still living life on the edge.
What's wrong with 70? I had a dream last night. If you want to get into anything, I had a dream that everything was backwards. You're born old, okay? And then you progress to being a baby. And then you're nothing.
I was going to say, do you crawl back?
I don't know. Wait, hey, watch what you say. I use the nice words. You turn back to nothing.
Okay.
Gary.
But what?
There was a movie made like that with Brad Pitt. Exactly what you just described.
That's probably what I remembered in my dreams from seeing it somewhere. But it was so realistic. And I remember at one point I was trying to drive a car, and I was like 3 years old, and I couldn't reach the gas pedal or anything. Because you had your memory all the way till you were nothing. And it was scary. It was like you're born at like 80 years old, and then you just go the opposite way. And it was so scary.
Yeah, listen.